Tonight, boys, high school lacrosse coming your way on QCTV as the Anoka Tornadoes, 5-4, hosting the Andover Huskies, 2-7. Huskies led by Caleb Weichel. Meanwhile, it's Devin Hirsch leading the way for Anoka. After tonight, both these teams have just 3 games left in the regular season. Both teams bring a lot of swag and bring that wiggle to their game. It'll be a shootout tonight here at Goodrich Stadium coming up next.
It's caught, 20, yes! This is back to the fence, and that's gone. There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught, 20, 10, touchdown! And good evening and welcome to Goodrich Field on a lovely night. And as Joe mentioned a moment ago, we got boys lacrosse. Anoka hosting Andover. Great rivalry no matter what the sport. See Andover 2-7, Anoka 5-4. Steve Thompson, Joe Rulin, our great QCTV crew. And Joe, you mentioned Caleb Weichel in your opener there a moment ago. He's been banged up. His dad, head coach Ken Weichel, mentioned he's at about 80%, and it's good to have him back. So that's one of the reasons Andover's struggled a bit at 2-7.
Yeah, and Weichel comes in still leading the team with 16 goals, and Cole Jensen second on the squad and goals with 13, and then Rocco Seymour and Knutson, big contributors, both in double digits on goals as well. So they need to find other ways to create it, and there's a look at the starting lineups here for tonight for Anoka. Steve?
Yeah, and Brad Sundom, the head coach, 5-4, averaging 6.44 goals a game, giving up 7.44. But they are 5-4 on the year, and you look at that group, and Tanner Peterson is one of the top goal scorers for Anoka with 11 goals, and in goal Nate Thompson. And Thompson has done a nice job. 9th grader, 2-2, 6.34 goals against. Save percentage, though, in lacrosse, a magic number is save 60%. He's at 617.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, the goals against for him at 6.34. All very impressive for Thompson. Tornadoes come in with that 5-4 record. That they scored 58 goals this season and have surrendered 67.
Yeah, and of course, Devin Hirsch really makes some goals. 20 goals on the year for Hirsch, and he had a couple late in that game here at Goodrich that we saw on QCTV the other night where they hold off Champlin Park 5-4. He got going late, but he scored 2 big ones for the Tornadoes. And on the flip side, the Andover Huskies, we talked about Caleb Weichel, Bubba as he's known around the team, and then his brother Caden Weichel in goal. And he's a big guy, 6'4", 280 pounds, and Ken told us third most saves so far in the state this season. So he sees a lot of action. Caden Weichel in goal for Andover wearing number 99.
Yeah, and then Weichel on that defensive line for the Andover Husky football team as well. So they try to use that size to the advantage. And as we've seen from a lot of lacrosse already this season, the key spot for those goalies in lacrosse is getting that quick outlet pass out as well and making it an accurate pass and trying to throw teammates out in advance. And then we get a look here at Andover and their starting lineup. Again, head coach Ken Weichel, Caden Weichel in goal, and then Caleb Weichel, the leading goal scorer, as the attack, followed by Lucas Dudley, Tremaine Davis, and then we have C.J. Mihalovic, and Mihalovic there, along with Rocco Seymour as an attacker, Knutson, Midby, along with Evan Gergen on defense. Bodine and Heppel round out that lineup for the Andover Huskies, come in with a record of 2-7. And again, they've scored 66 goals, but have surrendered 108.
Yeah, and they certainly need to tighten it up there, but having Caleb Weichel back will be a big help for Andover. And then, of course, on the flip side, Tanner Peterson and Devin Hirsch have combined for 31 goals this year for the Tornadoes. So they are certainly dynamic. And in lacrosse, it all starts in the middle of the field.
And Dominic Grubbs takes a lot of the draws for the Tornadoes. And Tristan Klein is out there for the Andover Huskies as we get started on a warm night, a Wednesday night here at historic Goodrich Field. Steve Thompson, Joe Rulin, and that one pops out of there toward the far sideline, and that one's going to roll toward the sideline. I'm not sure if anyone's going to gain clear control. And Anoka, by the way, defending the goal down to our left, Andover to our right. Andover, as you might guess, in black with gold numerals. Anoka in white with the maroon numerals, and Andover's going to get it to get us started here.
This always a heated rivalry. Doesn't make a difference what the records are. Bunker Lake separates the two squads, Bunker Lake Boulevard, but I'll tell you, always a competitive match.
Here comes Anoka, Ethan Masman, sophomore, 8 goals, 7 assists. They move it into the middle, put it on the ground, and it is controlled there. Devin Hirsch, he's got great speeds, terrific lateral movement. No wonder he leads the Tornadoes in scoring. He sets it up into the middle. Here's Darian Berry, another sophomore, 3 goals, 2 assists. Hirsch is senior, but there are a lot of youngsters, sophomores that get minutes, and a 9th grader in goal in Nate Thompson. And here's Anoka trying to get his shot away. That one whistles wide. That was ripped by Tanner Peterson, one of the seniors with 11 goals coming in. He let it fly, and Anoka's going to hang on.
Yeah, you'll see the poise from that freshman, Nate Thompson. He always manages to square up when he's getting to look to make that save. Rarely out of position.
Ben Iverson had it on the end line. 6 goals, 6 assists for the junior. He is a big force for the Tornadoes. And trying to get to the front and jumping and shooting, Ethan Masman. That goes well wide. That was his shot attempt, and Hirsch was over there. And he was deep, and he'll get it right back. So Anoka on the attack first here tonight. Andover ultimately got it off the face-off, but weren't really able to move into attack mode before they turned it over. Hirsch sends it outside. Opportunity Peterson. Off to his right and Barry, and he'll go toward the middle of the field. He'll begin his run, trying to get around the corner. Gets a shot away, and that goes wide. And Caden Weichel, he's a huge guy, and that's a big advantage to have a big, active goaltender like Caden Weichel.
It is. But you'll also see with that size, you get some of those rebounds as well. Let's see if Anoka can pick up on second and third opportunities. You mentioned Weichel comes in and go 2 and 6 goals against of 12.88 and a save percentage of .520.
Another look for Hirsch. And in that game against Champlin Park we had on QCTV here the other night, it was quite a bit cooler that night. The camera operators were freezing. The camera operators like the weather here tonight at Goodrich Field a whole lot better than that night. But it was a slow start. Champlin Park really took away Hirsch. He ultimately played a big factor in the game, but it took a while for him to get involved. Now a flag flies. They get it right in front. They tried to hit Hirsch. It's going to go all the way out to midfield. It won't quite get there. Andover is probably going to go a man down, and quite a battle out there for that. Joe Panuski, and it does ultimately go over midfield, draw the whistle, and Andover will indeed go a man down in this spot with 9:21 to go in quarter number 1.
Yep, see if the Tornadoes can take advantage. I didn't quite see who that was called. We're looking into the sun.
Quinn Knudsen will take that. So Knudsen takes a knee for Andover. Time of that penalty, 2:39. And now it's Anoka, a man up. And that's Hirsch over on the left. They swing it to the right side, and Peterson. And now to the X and Iverson. Right back out into the middle. Right back to the right. Peterson is shot. Saved by Weichel. Right down around his shoe tops. Bounced out of there. And now he'll ultimately grab it back. Clear over midfield. Quite a clear. Hits the ground. Good stick play there defensively by Anoka. Braden Welling knocked it away. And Welling with the long pole is going to run into the attack zone and turn around and head out of there. Quick shot off the stick of Peterson, fed by Iverson. So Anoka right back at it. They've been dominating early, but they are a man up.
They are buzzing the net. I couldn't tell if that last shot went off of Waco and out of play or it missed the net altogether just from this angle. But they are threatening here, are the Tornadoes.
So here it is, Grubbs. He takes a lot of the face-offs. Gets it to the right, Thompson. Out to the left. Here's Hirsch. Hirsch into the middle, can't get free. What a grab by Thompson. He'll power his way to the front, have that knocked away. Now a ground ball opportunity. And let's see if anybody can gain control, and the Tornadoes do. And that's quite a drop by Panuski. Nice job by Panuski.
Yep, and Knudsen's back out again for Andover, so back at full strength.
We're even up, and here's Hirsch. Under 8 to go, quarter number 1. Hirsch, shot in the goal. Just a laser beam from out on top.
Wow, and you could see he elevated just before he unleashed that shot. Elevate, unleashed, and that laser caught the lower part of the net and beat Waco, and Anoka jumps out to that 1-0 lead with 7:53 left here in the first.
And as Joe pointed out, it was even at that time. Hirsch, number 21, coming at 4:07. 1-0. What a shot by Hirsch. No chance for Caden Weichel. And Anoka's going to pick up that ground ball off the face-off and move it the other way. Here's Cooper Botke. And he's going to give it up and head back over onto the defensive side of things. And now Ian McDonald is going to have it. He'll trot off.
And once you see that replay again of that shot, it's almost like Patrick Mahomes taking a leap and a throw and getting extra leverage, and just it's unbelievable the velo on that shot.
You don't want to be in the way of that one. Wow. And goalies in lacrosse, courage is one of the things you need to stand in there. Here's another shot. Thompson let one fly, and it goes wide. Anoka's going to hang on. The man deep, Darian Berry, the sophomore.
And as you can see, a little bit of the difference between the boys and the girls' games. The girls is running time, whereas you're seeing time stoppage here on the boys.
Berry into the middle. Iverson a catch. Blocked out of there. I think the goalie Weichel may have got a piece of it. And then it comes into Weichel again. And he likes that long clear. And as you can see, will come out of the net. I don't think anybody's going to take him on as he's trotting down the field. And now he tries that long clear. Anoka appears to have position, and they do, and they take it away. Another good job by Cooper Botke as he grabbed that out of the air. And that is the danger of those long clears, Joe.
That is. And he has not been able to complete his first two. He has. They've just ended up in the cradle there of pocket of Anoka.
So we got a timeout on the field, 6:29 to go, quarter number 1, 1-0 Anoka. Hirsch, and they've been feeding Hirsch a lot, trying to get him going, and why not? Coming in, 20 goals, adds one tonight. He is the main man for the Tornadoes, and of course, Tanner Peterson also has done a nice job with 15 points, 11 goals.
Yeah, you saw a lot of movement by Anoka in the first couple of possessions. Not a lot of standing, but kind of cuts with a purpose. And really found some openings. Here you get a look tonight at some of the fans in the stands. What a beautiful, and Ferris Bueller is also with us.
Great weather night.
Oh.
Joe's in beach wear tonight.
I am. Had to wear the shorts.
Yeah, great night.
I was wearing them all winter, and all the neighbors were a little concerned about me.
You're one of those guys that wears shorts all winter. You know,
you go out for a run and you warm up about 20 degrees more than the weather. I figure it's safe.
Yeah, I walk into Target and there's people in shorts in January, and it's like, I can't deal with this. Why? So great weather, and we certainly enjoy covering boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball. There's Brad Sundum, and fun to watch Brad before the game. He's so active out on the field. He really enjoys warming up the goalie. He enjoys being out on the field and throwing it around with the guys.
Yeah, he does, and he's got a pretty good rapport, appears, with his players. They all kind of get after it with him. Meanwhile, Anoka came into this game with a loss the other night to Elk River Zimmerman, 6-2 Andover. Meanwhile, in their last matchup, an 10-8 loss to Champlain Park.
But Brad's got to be, pleased with the fact that they're giving up under 8 a game, that they've tightened it up. If they can crank it up a little bit in the scoring category, they are 5-4, and they've got some tough ones looming. Andover tonight, they got Maple Grove looming, and that one's going to go over to the far side and out of bounds. Dominic Grubbs will grab it over there for the Tornadoes. Under 6 to go, quarter number 1. Hirsch, the lone goal for the Tornadoes. They lead it 1-0. And Joe, you mentioned right at the top how quick. There's a jump shot from Ethan Maspin on the side, went over the top of the cage, and Anoka's going to hang on. But this is going really quick. Before you know it, it'll be section time, particularly in boys lacrosse.
Yep,
going quick.
Exactly. And tonight's a key matchup as both teams kind of get ready for their section play as well. We saw that 2 nights ago as Champlain Park defeated Andover Huskies, the girls' lacrosse squad. And each win is so critical as they start looking at section seeding as well.
So Andover in the attack zone, finally get it down to the X behind the net and try and get it set up back there. They swing it out to the right. And that goalie, Nate Thompson's been lonely early. The 9th grader, 2-2 on the year. Goals against just over 6, but his save percentage over 60% at .617. And as we pointed out many times before here on QCTV, over 60% in lacrosse is outstanding. Player down there, that's Cole Jensen. And Anoka's going to pick it up. So Andover had it in the attack zone, didn't get any shots away, and now the goalie, Nate Thompson for the Tornadoes, swings it out to his right. Ground ball picked up over there, right back to the goalie.
Steve, I used to also remind my teachers in high school, listen, anything over 60% is dynamite. Dynamite. It's progress. It's not about perfection.
I have a feeling they just wanted to move you along. Dad. All right, let's send Joe to the next grade.
Hey, one call out tonight has to go also to a high school student. Gigi Bragg sang the national anthem tonight. Man, that was like concert-like. It was a tremendous job by Gigi Bragg. Great voice. It was great to hear, and I think we heard the tail end of it, but nonetheless, I wanted to call her out for that talent.
Oh, yeah. Great job. And a great choir tradition at Anoka over the years. And the Tornadoes get it set up. Charlie Hendrickson out there, 3 goals, 1 assist for the sophomore. And now right back into the middle, Darian Berry to give it up. Tanner Peterson. Anoka's dominated attack zone time. Here's Hirsch, lone goal in the game. He and Peterson playing out on top. Peterson with the dodge, spins into the middle, shot and a goal over the shoulder. Caden Weichel, 2-0 Tornadoes. That was a beauty.
He released that shot quicker than a hiccup. A good spin move. You could see they were almost like 2 wide receivers in football, running a rub with one another and trying to get free from the defender. And he turned and unleashed just a quick shot and couldn't be any more accurate. And I don't know that Weichel saw that after the spin.
Time of the goal, 8:25 for Peterson, number 12 of the year. Just a beauty over the right shoulder of Caden Weichel. And the Tornadoes extend their lead. Still early, quarter number 1 here at Goodrich. And off that face-off, Andover's going to pick up the ground ball, and they're going to begin their move forward. And a good job. Here's Luke Babineau, gives it up. They try to move it inside. This is Cole Jensen. 13 goals for Cole this year, leading the team in assists with 13. They're going to try and get Caleb Weichel, wearing number 1, free. I don't know if I see him out on the field right now. As we've learned, coming off injury, not feeling all that great, not 100%. There's a quick shot. That was Rockwell Seymour, 10 goals, 7 assists. One of the captains for the Andover Huskies. Andover hangs on. They try and move it into the middle. Good cut and a goal over the shoulder. That's Quinn Knudsen, number 11 of the year. Andover gets one back.
That was filthy. In motion, a cutter coming in. A beautiful pass, almost a one-timer. But it was a quick catch and release for Knudsen. Goal number 11 on the season, and Huskies have cut this deficit in half at 2-1.
Time of the goal, 9:09. Once again for Knutson. 10 goals, 8 assists coming in for the 11th grader. And that was a big goal and a good play by Andover, and really their first sustained attack zone time of the night.
I couldn't believe Dominic Grubbs coming into this. He came into this game with 72 faceoffs. That was at the start. He's had 3 already here tonight.
And that was Dylan Larson who's going to get it. He was awarded the faceoff. He's being hounded over there by Grubbs. Ground ball being fought for, and it's picked up by Anoka. Good job defensively by Braden Welling. Another good play for Welling in this game. Gets it ahead. Nice move by Bach. He gets it over midfield, and he's going to carry it ahead. He's being chased by Zach Dicken. Anoka's going to get it over on a ground ball, and it's picked off. Tried to get it over to Hirsch, but it's grabbed by Andover.
Yeah, the ball hit the turf. It gave the Andover defender time to slide the stick in there and grab it and turn it over and get it back upfield.
Ron picks it up. Or excuse me, that is Cole Jensen. Cole Jensen has it. And now Andover moves into the attack. Down 2-1. That was a big goal for them because all the momentum. Ground ball. That ground ball picked up there by Gorowski.
Had some great motion to Andover as well. And I'll tell you, when you have that type of flow and motion in lacrosse out in front, you're tough to track and you create some great avenues.
Gorowski tried to send it in front, picked off by Baki. He begins his run up the far side. Good move. Switches hands. Had it bumped away at the moment. Gets it back, pops it in the air, and then he's going to grab it on the ground again. Baki then sends it through, and it's turned right back over to Andover. We may have, we have a yellow flag. Foul over on the far side, and let's see what the call is here. 1:08 to go in the quarter. I don't see a man down over there.
I think the official's asking for an Andover player to come over and join him.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be Evans, the sophomore. Andrew Evans is going to take a knee over there. So for the second time, Andover's going to go a man down. And that had to be right around midfield. So here come the Tornadoes. Time of that 10:52. And now a chance. They get it out on top. Hirsch. First goal of the game for Anoka. Peterson rips one wide. Oh, Tanner Peterson let it fly, but it was 2 or 3 feet wide right. And the deep man is Ben Iverson. Big Ben, the junior. He's a force. Swings it over to the right. Ethan Massman. And then overshoots Peterson. It's going to go to the far side. What a job by Hirsch to run it down. Devin Hirsch put on the Jets to run that one down. And then he throws it away. And there's no way Peterson's going to get to that. So a turnover on the Tornadoes. And that's a bummer for them, a man up.
Well, a little adrenaline maybe from running down and hunting down that loose ball. And then had the RPMs up.
Yep.
And when he was trying to make that toss. So chance here. Let's see what Andover can do.
Certainly a break for the Huskies. Lucas Donnelly going to begin his run. Good move. And a good run by Donnelly into the middle. Had it knocked away. Picked up and scoring was Seymour from the right side. Well, it ended up in his stick and he let it fly. We're tied.
That was a rocket by Rocco Seymour. He picked up the loose change on one bounce and made the deposit back of the net. Oh, wow. That thing had some speed and conviction on it. A beautiful shot.
So Andover's battled back to tie it. Seymour with the goal, number 11 on the year for him.
That shot had so much velo, it almost took the number off the jersey. The goalie Thompson, that thing ripped right by him.
Grubbs wins the faceoff, picks up the ground ball, tosses it into the middle, And now a battle ensues and another ground ball. Anoka trying to get momentum back. They dominated early, but 2 in a row now. And that's it. We're going to go to the end of the first quarter. Tornadoes go up 2-0. Andover battles back. We're tied at 2 after 1. Quarter number 2 coming up here on QCTV.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
And we are back. Historic Goodrich Field in Anoka. Boys lacrosse. The Tornadoes hosting rival Andover. And there's Ken Weichel, Huskies head coach, Joe.
Yep, also defensive coordinator on the football squad, and a couple of the boys of his playing. And we haven't seen much of Caleb Weichel. We'll keep an eye and see if he returns. And then his other son, Caden, between the pipes tonight as well. But meanwhile, the goals by the Huskies have come with, wow, some vigor. Nice goal by Knutson and a beautiful goal by Seymour that tied it up at 2-2.
Quite a battle for this face-off. It's ultimately controlled by Grubbs, and picking it up was McDonald. Switch sides, Anoka in the attack zone down to our left, wearing white with maroon numerals, and Andover in their road black with gold numerals. Easy read for my old eyes as we start quarter number 2. The Andover home whites with the gold numerals and the sun shining, that's tough. That's tough. I have the binoculars out a lot during a game like that. But a gorgeous night here in the heart of Anoka. And the Tornadoes really dominated early, but give Andover credit. They really battled back. This is Darian Berry at the X. Put it on the ground, and it's grabbed by Caden Weichel, the goalie. He's going to get a long clear out there. It's put on the ground. Contested. Tristan Klein, the intended receiver of that pass. And Anoka's going to get it back. But that was contested beautifully by Braden Welling, who's done a good job.
Yes, he has. He has. And you'll watch and see how Anoka will quickly enter the Huskies end of the field and try to set things up. And movement there. There's Massman with it right now.
Yeah, he did a good job. And now they want to get it in the hands of Devin Hirsch. And, of course, Tanner Peterson, Hirsch, and Peterson have goals. They get it to the front. Hirsch, can he get his shot away? He still lets one fly and scores. He got bumped and still scored.
Boy, you wonder if that was tipped out front, but it beat Waco low. But, boy, you could tell he was so focused, there was no way he was not going to get that shot off.
Oh.
The question was, would it go in? But he had great leverage the time that he left the turf.
Serious skills there.
Wow.
That's a lot of time. The old story, how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Yeah.
Practice, practice, practice. How do you score like that? Same deal.
Absolutely.
Practice, practice, practice. That was pretty.
Anoka regains a lead now at 3-2.
Yeah, and that comes at 125, second of the night. Number 22 on the year. Dominic Grubbs did his job, and Anoka right back to the attack. As they get it over to the right side, Charlie Hendrickson, the sophomore, going to send it way back out in front of the Andover bench, and now Ethan Masman on the field. And Hirsch, the hot hand. 2 goals already. Masman's going to let one fly. That's over the top. And Anoka's going to hang on for the moment.
Boy, and they are just taking possession each time down. If Andover's had a chance here in the second, it's been in and out. Not a lot of sustained time on those possessions, but Anoka very tactical with their approach and just tenacious with their approach towards the net and on shots.
Peterson tries to get to the front. His shot skips wide. Anoka has a man, and that one's not going to go to, it does go to the sideline. Tornadoes are going to hang on to it. And they'll get it right back out on top. Charlie Hendrickson over to the right side. Running way down into the corner, Joel Panuski. Panuski, 3 goals coming in for the junior. Played some important minutes this year. Getting to the front and taking a shot. Having that go wide is Ethan Massman. And Caden Weichel does a nice job. And you made a good point. Caleb Weichel, scheduled to start, has been banged up at about 80% according to head coach Ken Weichel. There's a shot off the crossbar, and that was Ben Iverson. And Anoka's going to hang on one more time on that attempted shot.
I was just looking to see if Caleb is down on the other side of the field, Caleb Weichel.
Yeah, we have not seen him out there on the attack when they've had it yet here tonight. Here's Hirsch, had it knocked away, trying to get to that ground ball. Good battle over there. Good job by Garrett Ron. And we got a flag flying in there, and it's going to go against Anoka. So for the first time, the Tornadoes are going to go a man down in this game.
That was a fierce battle for that ground ball, but finally scooped up by Anoka before they were whistled for the foul.
And that's going to come at 3:06. And that is going to be Hirsch. So Hirsch will take a knee here in quarter number 2. First time Anoka has been a man down. And now an opportunity for Andover as they're going to get it and go to work. Here's Will Bowden, 4 goals, 2 assists. Bowden's actually going to trot right in front of the net.
Yeah,
and now they're going to direct him back toward midfield.
That was a good replay. They had on here. You could see that almost a slash that Hirsch had on the Andover player, which drew, of course, that penalty.
Oh, he's well on his way to the Gordie Howe hat trick tonight. He's got 2 goals and a penalty. No fighting majors in lacrosse, but now he just needs an assist. There's a good move inside. It's knocked out of the stick there is Seymour, who has a goal for Andover, and then picked up. Nice job on the backhand there by Gorowski. They get it back to the X. And now Gorowski gets it back. Nice cut in the middle and a goal. Beautiful cut by Bowden. He gets the goal, and we're tied again.
Well, you know what? Activity and cutting in front of the net, around the net like that, equates to some great scoring opportunity in Bowden. Lights the lamp there, his 5th of the season, and now we're back knotted up a 3 apiece.
And that comes a man up. So Bowden gets that goal, number 5 on the year, one of the captains. And that's their 2nd goal tonight on a quick cut. And it's been wide open.
They have, as long as that pass is delivered accurately, and it has been.
Right on the button. Beautiful.
Convert.
We got a ground ball off that face-off, heading toward the Anoka net. Andover's going to pick it up. Good job by Seymour. Seymour already has a goal tonight. Andover's never led. They were down 2-0. They tied it. They were down 3-2. They've tied it again. Andover looking for their first lead. Tremaine Davis heads to the sideline. Now they get it out on top. So momentum now for Andover. Ebbs and flows in this rivalry.
Yeah, in terms of the season, Anoka started the season with a 3-game win streak and then lost their next 3 to Centennial, Robbinsdale, and Blaine. Picked up 2 more wins over Holy Family in Champlain Park, and then took the loss on Wednesday, a week ago Wednesday, to Elk River.
They go to the X. Good catch back at the X by Cole Jensen. By the way, Caleb Weichel is on the field. Bubba's made what I believe is his first appearance. And that one pops out, and he's able to run it down. He makes a move. Double team comes, and we're going to get another foul. And Caleb Weichel was greeted there by a big shot. And now Andover's going to go a man up again.
See if they can take their first lead of the night with this man advantage. As Andover started their season with 3 straight losses to Blaine, Maple Grove, and Elk River. Picked up a win versus Sartell, then lost 3 more to Rogers, Centennial, and Totino Grace, and then picked up a win over OPC 20-5. That was back on May 3rd.
So Andover a man up. They had a goal a moment ago, a man up to grab a tie, 3-3. They get it to the X, cutting out in front and scoring from the X. Grab the pass, side of the net, and gets it done. And that's going to be Cole Jensen. And Andover, their first lead of the night. Look at this feed. They go to the X, and coming out from behind and right over the shoulder, Nate Thompson. Pretty goal.
Even more impressive, it's 4 different goal scorers for Andover in their first 4 goals of this game.
Number 14 in the year for Jensen. Comes at 5:21, Joe. So Andover scored 2 in a row twice, and now they have the lead. Another face-off win by Grubbs. Getting hammered, trying to spin out of there. Needs a little help. Good job by Grubbs to win the face-off, and he is just getting mauled at midfield. And now we get a timeout call by Anoka and Brad Sundum. And they dominated early, but Andover battled back, tied it at 2 at the end of 1. Then they grabbed a 3-2 lead. Now 2 in a row for Andover.
And gains their first lead of this game. And chance to see, hey, you want some life, you want a little juice heading into the sections, even though, hey, the 3 games left for Andover after this game will include Spring Lake Park on the 16th. Robbinsdale Armstrong on the 17th, and then they end their season on the 24th hosting Big Lake Princeton. Meanwhile, for Anoka, after tonight, they will host Totino Grace on the 15th, followed by Maple Grove on the 22nd, and then travel to OPC as the conference and the boys and girls lacrosse season all end pretty much on May 24th. And you want to be able to kind of fill out a formula, a combination of players that's working some continuity into how you're scoring those goals. And tonight, Coach Weichel has to be happy with the distribution of those goals, with 4 different goal scorers in the first 4 goals of the game.
Yeah, Knutson, Seymour, Bowden, Jensen. Bowden coming a man up. Jensen's goal a man up, so they've been able to take advantage of that. Anoka on the flip side, 2 from Hirsch, 1 from Peterson. And that's where we stand, 4-3. And Anoka onto that timeout. They have it in the hands of Hirsch. Hirsch with 2 goals, has a penalty. And Hirsch shows his speed, works off to the right, and doing a good job. Evan Gergen shadowing him over there. Now they come into the middle, Darian Berry. Berry, a good catch. He'll begin his run. Stop. Lucas Donnelly defensively. And now Anoka's going to back it out and get set up. They want to get it back in the hands of Hirsch. We've seen a couple of times tonight what he can do.
Absolutely. He's got some firepower. Fierce competitor.
Here's Peterson down into the corner. And then he'll send it back to that X position behind the net. That's Ben Iverson. And Iverson's one of those guys where, he can take it behind the net and power his way to the front as well. He's certainly got the size to do that. Peterson, 2nd goal of the game for Anoka, his 12th of the year. Boy, what a great night. She could bottle this up.
Spectacular night.
Hirsch and Peterson way outside right now, trying to almost spread the field, draw Andover, try to create a little room.
Yep, exactly what they're trying to do. Extend it, try to find some one-on-one battles. Right now you're seeing up top they're doing a lot of bracketing is Andover defensively.
Yeah, they're little two-man game here. You got Peterson and you got Hirsch. Peterson off to the right. He's getting attacked, trying to play keep away. Good physical play by Ron. Ron's did a really nice job when he's had opportunities. And there's that fine line. And then looks like we got a delay that Brad Sundum doesn't like the call, but apparently Peterson holding too long. Ground ball. Andover's going to pick it up. That's Gergen. And then taken right back. I believe that's Barry. Barry's got to run. He's got a little room. Goes back behind the net. And now we've got a stoppage. And I think Ken Weichel is pleading his case over there. 4:26 to go in quarter number 2. And now the officials are going to huddle up and say, where do we want to buy Joe a meal after the game?
Absolutely.
Do we want to go to Serums? Are we going to go somewhere else?
A tremendous amount of selection right in this area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have yet to receive an invite from the Thompson restaurant to stop over. But
yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. All right, we got a timeout on the field, and we're going to talk a little bit. And this has been a reoccurring theme in boys and girls lacrosse. You know, when you look at the rankings, as you get later and later in the season. And in this conference, Maple Grove, boys and girls playing very well. We've talked about Andover girls, Champlain Park girls having a good season, Centennial. But in the boys, the usual suspects in the rankings, Benilde, Chan, Lakeville Norris, Shakopee. Maple Grove is number 5, then Edina, Prior Lake, Farmington. More ahead of the Spuds getting some love, and Stillwater in the top 10. But in the girls, no one from this neck of the woods in the girls' rankings. Lakeville South, Prior Lake, Benilde, Edina, Chan, then Minnetonka, Blake, Stillwater, Rosemont, Eden Prairie. And we talked before we went on the air, Stillwater is going to host the state tournaments again. I know they have another site where they rotate, but the title games will be over at Stillwater, and they got a great stadium over there.
They do, and gosh, you'd love to see a squad from the Northwest Metro or Northern Metro anyway, trying to get through and break through to even a finals championship. Last year, of course, Andover, a tough loss, played Rosemont well.
Yeah,
I believe
10-7.
Yeah.
It was really close in that one, but nevertheless, that's what it's going to take for the northern suburbs, is to break through and win a title in boys or girls, and we got to look in there.
Spring Lake Park in Rogers. Courtesy of North Metro TV. Thanks, Taylor. I was trying to get a read on those call letters. And Rogers, of course, with a beautiful complex as well. Everyone with the turf these days, but the complex they've put out there is impressive as well. But a good look at that matchup.
Out of the timeout, Andover has it, coming up on 4 to go. We have another flag. Both teams have 2 fouls. Have been man down. Both teams have been a man down twice, and this time it's going to be Anoka again, their 3rd in a row, and that's going to be Iverson taking a knee. So Ben Iverson, the junior, takes a knee at 7:45 remaining, or 7:45 gone in quarter number 2. And away we go. Andover's got it.
And Andover's been able to capitalize on that man advantage. See if they can get up by 2 here before the end of the half.
Seymour, Cole Jensen playing catch right side. Far side, Caleb Weichel starting to see some action. I don't think he was out there in quarter number 1. I may have missed it, but easing him back in. He's missed 3 games this year. Caleb Weichel, leading scorer just a sophomore. And now he gets it over on the left, put it on the ground, scoops it up. Being hounded over there defensively by Aaron Knapp. And does ultimately put it on the ground. And it's picked up by the Tornadoes. Good job by Anoka.
Good forced turnover there. And Anoka on the transition here.
Bach, he had it knocked away, and it goes out of bounds. Andover's going to get it back. So Bach, he couldn't handle it. Good job by Knutson. He'll fire it ahead. Seymour not quite ready for it. Oh. He wasn't ready to receive that one, and it squirts out of bounds. Anoka will get it, so this is Welling. Sends it all the way across. Grabbed there by Max Knutson. That was a dangerous pass. Grabbed by Anoka, and they go into the attack mode. That is Thompson. That was quite a catch. Or Peterson.
That was
Tanner Peterson, quite a catch.
Nice little spin cycle move after he made that catch.
Gets to the front, shot goes well wide. But Anoka had a man deep, and I think Ethan Masman was way back there. We're now to even strength again, so Andover not able to capitalize. And the Tornadoes get it to the front. Iverson a catch and skips it by Caden Weichel. Just bounced it off the ground and it went over his shoulder, and Anoka's tied it up. And that goal there for Iverson, number 7 on the year.
Big body out there and able to control it.
Look at this catch.
He probably bounced it a little earlier than he wanted with the contact coming from behind. And that may have thrown the timing off there from Weichel as he went low to try to get it, but he hit that turf and took a bounce over the top of his racket. And we have now Quadro tied up at 4s. 2.5 to play in this first half.
Good job by Klein to win that face-off for Andover. He begins his run, got bumped, ground ball opportunity, pushing, shoving, and gaining control is Caleb Weichel, and he'll go out toward the middle of the field. Coming up on 2 to go in the quarter, so Anoka's returned the favor and tied it up. Here's Weichel getting hammered, flag flies. That pass out in the middle, knocked down by Bach. That'll get a stop, and Andover will go a man up for the 4th time in a row, Joe, in this quarter.
Yeah, and you know what? Weichel has drawn those last couple of penalties. And he may not be at 100%, but he's kind of working almost like a decoy out there. And then when he gets that ball, he draws so much attention. And sometimes a little too physical play by Anoka. And he's drawn a couple of those penalties, and now another man advantage here for the Huskies.
Welling takes a knee, and Andover right at it. They have 2 goals here, man up in this one, so they have been able to take advantage. They get it over to the left. Weichel gives it up to Cole Jensen. He put it on the ground, grabbed by Anoka, and the goalie Nate Thompson's going to have it. He'll run out of there. Ground ball picked up by McDonald. And McDonald for the Tornadoes gets bumped from behind, hangs on. Weichel after him along the sideline, and then just skips it way ahead. And now there's a foot race after it, and it's grabbed there by Andover. Huskies bring it back. Coming up on 1 to go, quarter number 2. Andover plenty of time. Weichel to Seymour. He just missed it. He's trying to run it down near side.
Anoka gets their player back out there, so it's even up for both squads.
That was Welling who had the knee down. They work it right side. Here's a shot and a goal. Cole Jensen skips one by Nate Thompson. Andover, 3rd goal of the quarter. They lead at 5-4.
Cole Jensen just ripped that one with conviction. And he had no one in front, no deflection, and just bounced that thing just before it got to Thompson. And then when it did bounce, that thing went upper 90. Kind of a carom there. I'm not sure if it was somewhat deflected just after he released it, but he was mano-a-mano looking at the goalie. Was Jensen to Thompson, and he beat him low, and it ended up in the upper 90 after that bounce.
Win by Grubbs, time for Anoka. And then he throws it away as he went into the middle. Tough turnover on Anoka. Trying to get Ethan Massman, just airmailed it. And now Andover with time with 31.2. And they lead it 5-4. It was 2-2 after one. And now Andover by one. They've got it, bumped along the sideline. And Ian McDonald may have forced him out, and I think he did. And with 21.1, there is still time for someone to go into attack mode here. And we have another timeout, and they're checking out Cole Jensen for Andover. And I don't know if he's got a cut, and I think it is an injury timeout. Yeah, there it is. So injury timeout, they put something on his knee, and he is good to go. These Lacrosse guys are tough.
They are tough, and I'll tell you, they'll have 21 seconds to showcase that toughness here left in the half, and some of the craftiness of their skill as well. As you've seen, some great passing and some great cutting, good motion. I love that part of the game, that motion and movement and just hitting players right in stride with some of those dimes that we've seen tonight. And Andover finally has their first player tonight of their 5 goals that's doubled up on goals, and that was that last goal by Cole Johnson. He has their 4th and their 5th goal, and they have taken the lead again here for the 2nd time in the first half.
Yeah, Devin Hirsch had the first goal of the game, the one to start this. He has 2 for the Tornadoes. And as you mentioned, Joe, Cole Jensen now with 2 to lead the Tornadoes here with 21.1. So out of this timeout, it was a full timeout. Andover's got time, but they got to make a move.
We also have some of the Anoka baseball players here. I had a chance to stop by for a couple of innings over at Castle Field to watch Pete Hayes and Anoka.
That goes toward the net, but it's picked up by the goalie, Nate Thompson. He's going to run out of there, and that's it. End of the half. So Andover doesn't get much of a shot away to end this second quarter, but they ultimately outscore Anoka in this second 3-2 and lead it 5-4 at the half. And we'll be back with quarters 3 and 4 here on QCTV.
Welcome to our spring edition of At the Half, the show where we take a closer look at some of our area high school sports. I'm your host, Carly Gilk. Andover Boys Tennis looks to continue to develop their young group. Let's talk with Coach Deb Hoyt and Captains Joe and Kale to learn more about this year's team.
I found was that it's not only building, it's not only doing these things, it's outreach, it's going into the community, and it's creating this environment where engineers can grow and thrive, and that's what the world needs.
Coverage by liking and subscribing to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Thank you for watching.
the left, has Hirsch near him. He has a good dodge there, gets into the middle, gives it up on the right. There's a shot, and that was a quick shot by Grubbs, and that was blocked by Weichel. In the middle, scoring is Ethan Massman. First of the game, 9th of the year.
He came in with a burst, zigzagged his way to an open shot, and then bounced that by Weigel to lock this up at Nichols. You can see just an explosive shot. Hits off that turf. About a foot in front of Weichel. Ends up about mid-net to tie it up, as I mentioned. 5-5. The goal by Massman. Goal number 9 of the season for Ethan Massman.
And we are tied again in this game here at Goodrich Field as the sun gets ready to set. Just a gorgeous night, pushing and shoving there. Dominic Grubbs will be in that face-off circle most of the time, and he'll come away with it there. It was 6-5 at the half, Anoka, and then he goes down. He'll hang on to it somehow and continue his run. And then the attempted pass knocked away by Andover, but a flag has already been thrown on the turf, and I think this one's going to go on Andover. That'd be their third man down situation. That comes at 1:38.
So looking at the call was on 21, perhaps.
Yeah, Heppel. Ken Weichel talked about Heppel in his first year, how aggressive he is, and he went a little over the line there. And now Anoka man up. They haven't been able to take advantage of 2 other man up situations in the game, and now they get it to Hirsch. Hirsch from outside. Oh, he let that. You don't want to get in the way of that.
No.
It goes wide, near side. Ben Iverson was deep. Shots on goal at the half. Anoka led it 8-6, but trailed on the board 5-4. Way outside, this is Darian Berry. He ran it down near midfield, and now they retreat, and Berry begins his run. Gets it inside, ground ball knocked out of there. Trying to gain control, and ultimately it's picked up by Ethan Massman. He'll begin his run. Inside, another shot, that was blocked. Charlie Hendrickson got a quick shot, blocked by Andover, and he picks up the ground ball. So he followed his shot there.
That was a critical save and a way to diffuse that shooting or that goal attempt there defensively for Andover.
Berry gets it to the outside. Here's Hirsch. Hirsch to the right. Another shot. Save, Weichel. Got it in the netting. Tried to go near his side. Weichel read it. Made a good save. On a hop. Gets it ahead. Donnelly picks it up beautifully. And now this is Seymour has a goal in the game. Way over on the right side. Watched by Cooper Baki. Baki real physical over there. And now they get it further out. And Caleb Weichel, I don't think was out in quarter number 1. I mentioned that earlier, but has been out there more on the attack for Andover. Their leading scorer coming in 16 goals, 4 assists.
And oh, by the way, I saw the baseball score below. Anoka did defeat Duluth East 2-0. It looked like it was a 3-hit shutout for Parker Hedlund for the Tornadoes. Congrats.
And I'm sure a joy to pitch on a beautiful day like today. Andover trying to get to the front. There's a shot that goes wide. That was Andrew Evans. Andover's going to hang on as they remain on the attack. Coming up on 8 to go, quarter number 3. This is Weichel. Caleb, the sophomore, way outside. And when he does get the ball, he takes a lot of punishment. He hasn't been able to get a lot of shots away, Joe, but Anoka's all over him.
They are.
Comes a double.
Yep, rotate defenders on him and making sure he does not get a path anywhere near the 12.
And he is one of those players, when he is right, you know, can take over like a Devin Hirsch. Here he is in the middle, works to the right, puts it on the ground. It's scooped up on the ground nicely in traffic. Grabbing it there was Bowden, who has a goal. That one popped out of there in the air. Who can control the ground ball? The Tornadoes do. Owen Wall grabs it, feeds it ahead beautifully on the run. Hirsch sends it wide.
Well, we'll see if Weichel got a piece of that or he just shot it wide. That was a coast-to-coast exchange, a transition time there for Anoka.
Hirsch to the front, and with the laser beam, Tanner Peterson, number 2. And Anoka adds a goal.
Second goal of the night. It gives Anoka a chance to reclaim, which they did the lead now by 1 goal. And boy, Peterson just unlocked and unloaded. One that's made it look like it went through the netting on the racket there for.
Great shot.
Oh my gosh.
And Caden Weichel, I mean, you just tip your cap and move on.
Oh, by the way, faceoffs in that first half, courtesy of Dr. Jeff Nelson, statistician. He had 6 faceoffs won by Anoka and 5 for Andover. And that one I didn't see who won, but I'm going to guess it was Andover.
Andover did. Donnelly took the shot, had it blocked. Now the Tornadoes pick up the ground ball and begin their run. Charging the other way, Joe Panuski. As we approach a midway point of quarter number 3, Anoka was down 5-4 at the half. And now they have grabbed a 6-5 lead. So they start the quarter the way they started the game with 2 quick goals. Here's Hirsch. Sends it further down, and Thompson. And now it's Iverson. Back at that X position. Likes it back there. And now here comes Anoka. And a run for Henriksen. Had it knocked out of there.
It came out of his pocket before he took that shot.
Ground ball near the middle of the field. What a move by Ethan Masman.
Scoop and
has a goal.
A scoop and spin.
Yeah, just shy of midfield. Here's Hirsch. Third of the game. Down low.
I like to get a pocket radar and track the velocity on some of these shots. Again, goes low. Most of the goals have been low on Weichel, the 6'4" goalie. And now back up to a 2-goal lead for Anoka. It was a lead they had of 2 goals early in the first quarter.
3 in a row to start the third. Masman, Peterson, Hirsch with the goals. Number 3 for Hirsch. First in the game with 3. Anoka wins it. Good job again by Grubbs. And they move forward into the attack zone. The sun is set. And visibility for us rapidly improving. There's Hirsch. Hirsch moves in right side. Another shot. Did he get it? He did. That one popped out of there. 2 in a row for Hirsch, 4th of the game.
And they are zeroing it in low off that turf. As a target area to address, and some impressive goals from a distance here by Anoka. The last 2 by Devin Hirsch. 24th goal of the season and his 4th here tonight.
He's in the zone right now. And Grubbs would love to win another draw, but instead Andover, Tristan Klein tried to pick it up. Anoka ultimately grabs the ground ball. Cooper Bach, he was there. Now a ton of momentum for the Tornadoes. They were down 5-4. They've scored 4 in a row now to lead 8-5. The first 3-goal game, a lead of the game. Anoka grabs another ground ball. They move it ahead. That's Welling. And now we're going to get a timeout with 4:51. And I would assume Ken Weichel's going to talk it over and settle his team down because, Joe, there's no question. Anoka came out of the break at halftime And they've been firing on all cylinders, winning faceoffs, dominating on ground balls, and then, of course, finding Hirsch for two in a row.
Like many athletics at halftime, you look at make some modifications or adjustments, and it appears Anoka has done that. They've also come back and really targeted that lower 90 or that turf just in front of Weichel. They've had a couple of those balls hit about a foot in front of Weichel in goal and been able to beat him each time on those. But every time they try to go up high, the big statue and big frame covers a lot of part of the net. There's a look at the Northwest Suburban Conference and the standings. Maple Grove on top, 7-0, tied with Robbinsdale Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong, a good program, boys and girls. We saw the Armstrong girls earlier this season, and they're terrific. Centennial, Champlain Park's got a solid team. You get to the middle of the pack, Totino, Elk River. And then you got Anoka 3 and 4 in league play. And the way they're playing in the third quarter right now, they have a chance to jump to 6 and 4 overall. And they're dangerous with that scoring punch. And they've got some good defenders as well. And Anoka certainly could be a dangerous team come section playoff time. They've got some of the ingredients, and look, the way they're playing in this third quarter, it's pretty good.
Largest goal or largest lead of the game here for Anoka, for either team.
Tornadoes on the attack. They're in white. Those maroon numerals, Andover in black. And here's my husband. Has a goal and an assist. Set up Hirsch's third goal. And then Hirsch added one more. Hirsch again, right side. Lets it fly, and that's blocked out of there. Weichel knocks it away, and he's trying to shake that one off. That one off his hand or off his leg, that's certainly going to leave a mark. Spin tries to get to the front. Thompson blocked out of there, maybe hit iron. Goes all the way out to midfield. And offside on that play is Welling, and Andover's going to get it. Here's Davis, Tremaine Davis. As Caleb Weichel on his left. Andover needs a goal, Joe.
Desperately here, trying to find the right avenue.
Davis skips it over the top. Andover's going to hang on. Good job, though, by Davis. Was able to go right in and got a pretty good shot away.
Yeah, he was. He was determined to drive that thing in close and get a good look.
So now, are they going to be able to get Caleb Weichel involved in this game? 16 goals this year, and once again has missed 3 due to injury. We talked about it at the top. Head coach Ken Weichel said not 100% yet, but is out there. Here's Knutson. He has a goal for Andover in this one.
If a coach has about 80%, a coach / dad, it's probably closer to about 50%.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Seymour trying to get to the front, now back out. Cole Jensen banged up, he's out there. Off on the left, Evans in the middle. Anoka doing a good job defensively, and now it's Weichel. And can Weichel find some room? They're down by 3, but still 3 minutes to go in the third. Plenty of time, but Andover needs a good attack here. Weichel on the right side. Tough angle shot, scores anyway. Wow, he showed his skill there, and he's got his first of the night, and Andover back within 2.
They needed to respond. Could not afford to go down by 4. Weichel lights the lamp, finds the end, and determined to find the back of the net. Puts a nice bounce right by Thompson, and they back within 2. The first, as you mentioned, of the night for Weichel, 17th of the season.
Boy, and that was a tough angle shot. Almost to the goal line and still snuck it in there. Grubb sends it back. Ground ball picked up there by Cooper Bach. He gives it up quickly. Nice catch on the run there, Charlie Hendrickson. Or excuse me, that was catch on the run there by Panuski. And now it's Iverson. Gets it over to the left. Anoka's going to set up as they get players in. Hirsch, 4 goals tonight. Has it. Moves into the middle. Good dodge. Trying to get an angle. Takes a shot. Blocked down in front. That may have hit Ron. And Ron's going to try the long clear. That's picked off. Picked off by the Tornadoes Welling. And Welling's going to move it ahead, but too far for Barry over there. And the Tornadoes turn it right over. And Brad Sundom, Tornadoes head coach, has to be pretty happy with everything that's transpired here in the third, except that turnover.
Absolutely. Let's see what Huskies can do on this possession.
Caden Weichel's going to trot out of there and make his way toward midfield, gives him some options on the clear. That one's knocked down and picked off again by Baki. He'll move it forward. This is Panuski. Panuski to Iverson in the middle. Hirsch with the dodge, gives it up on his left. That shot try by Peterson blocked down. He'll get to the ground ball.
Anoka had the right formula there. A lot of good quick passing.
Yes.
Clean receptions and clean passes, and just when it came time to pull the trigger on a shot, didn't quite get everything.
Peterson further out. Hirsch. Goal number 5. Just another dart from about 15 yards out. Oh, he's got a shot.
Last 3 goals for Anoka have been scored by Devin Hirsch, now with 25 on the season. And back up to a 3-goal lead.
An impressive shot. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, now 3 in the third for Devin Hirsch, the senior attack for the Tornadoes. And there's a ground ball win by Dylan Larson. And then it's grabbed right back by Anoka, but he had popped out of there with it. And now it's Grubbs, who is in the face-off circle.
And I should have made that commitment just after we started halftime. I was going to say a 20 as an over-under. 20 is the over-under for the game. We're walking towards that right now.
Yeah, too late though, Joe. They're not going to accept it
Yes,
at the window.
they will not.
They're going to turn you away at the window. Here's John Lee.
Joe Vegas.
Yeah, that is not going to fly. Can't change your mind. Seymour on the right. He has a goal. Great defense by Baki over there. He's really all over it. Knutson has a goal. Nice pass inside and a goal. That's Zach Dickin with his second of the year. Andover gets one back.
That was a nice delivery. Doing a lot of the work out front, Quinn Knutson. And then he found a look right there, a beautiful pass right to the pocket. And punched it through there for Andover. As you mentioned, just his, I believe you said his second of the season.
Number 2 on the year for Dickin, 11:35. The time of the goal, 9-7. Scoring action, and there's a win for Klein. Tristan Klein right down the field. And it knocked away, and that shot attempt, yeah, that's not a shot attempt. That was a pass. So he won the draw and then turned it over, and now Anoka's got it. And then Andover has it right back. They get it into the middle. Cole Jensen. And I think Andover turned it over. Doesn't matter, end of the quarter. 3 in the books. It was a wild one. 5 for Anoka, 2 for Andover. Tornadoes are up 9-7 going to the 4th here on QCTV. There's Brad Sundom. Anoka head coaches team up 9-7 after a wild third quarter, Joe.
Wow. Explosive. 5-4 at half. Meanwhile, Anoka explodes for 5 goals in that third, and Andover counters with 2 of their own. And now Anoka with that 2-goal lead at 9-7 as we start the fourth. I mean, it was 3 goals alone in that third for Hirsch. Wow. And then Weichel got his first of the game for Andover. Also answered on the goal there was Dickin for Andover.
And getting Weichel involved is huge. And, you know, we'll see what they're down by 2. Still plenty of time for Andover. And we go right back to the middle. Dominic Grubbs will take that face off as we start quarter number 4 on a gorgeous Wednesday night at Goodrich Field here in Anoka. We're glad you can join us on QCTV and QCTV.org. There's a good fight for that one, and it's finally picked up there by Dylan Lars. A nice job. And Andover's going to move it ahead. Nate Thompson, the Anoka goalie, defending to our right. And Caden Weichel for Andover defending the goal down to our left for the Huskies. They're down by 2 in black. Here we go, and that is Caleb Weichel, nicknamed Bubba. Bubba's got one, and he's got it. Double team comes, gets shoved, goes down to a knee. Can't feel good on the turf, picks it up. The sophomore gets battered through a triple team.
Triangulated.
Wow. And that's for a sophomore to show that kind of strength, to hang on to it. And he was surrounded by tornadoes there. Battled his way through. That was impressive. Player goes down. That's Bowden. He has a goal tonight. Now a tornado falls on the ball. That can't feel good. 11 minutes to go in the game.
I've had that happen with the remote. That does it. It's tough. That's a tough feeling, but it is physical tonight. And it's heating up even more and more every period.
McDonald for Anoka into the attack zone. Tornadoes have it now, up by 2. Big spot in the game for Andover defensively. On the charge, Barry. That one goes wide. That was a shot attempt, and I think Anoka's going to hang on.
That was such an explosive move. Time for Barry. Faked right, left. Some explosive strides, just missed the net on a shot.
This is Peterson. He has a couple of goals tonight for Anoka. And he's waiting for the pass, catches. And now a little bit further out, Charlie Hendrickson. Hendrickson, sophomore, 3 goals coming in. Now it's Hirsch. Reached up for that one. Now it's Peterson again. Peterson trying to get over to the right, lets it fly way over the top.
But they just get some leverage, almost like a reverse C by the time they pull the trigger on that. Snap that shot off.
Yeah, when they let it fly, I almost wince. I do not want to be in the way of that thing. Yeah, just amazing. Those guys get on it. Another tough angle shot. That was Peterson again. Anoka on that shot attempt is going to hang on. 9:47 to go. Anoka, if they go up by 3, that'll make it really tough on Andover. It's still doable. Hendrickson into the middle. His shot saved by Weichel. Caden Weichel, another good save. Both goalies have done a pretty nice job here tonight.
Yeah, they did. In fact, at half, in terms of shots on goal at the end of that first half, 8 shots on goal for Anoka and 6 for Andover.
Here's a long clear by Weichel trying to control Cole Jensen. Does somehow for Andover. And now he'll get it further into the middle. And that was Caleb Weichel, who has a goal in the game. And now further outside, and Andover goes right out toward the middle of the field. And Will Bowden. We're at the 9 to play. 9 to play in this game. Andover would love to cut it to 1 right here on this attack. Karowski works his way around the perimeter, and now it's Weichel. He's going to serve it, and now he's going to begin his charge. Steps in, gets bumped, hangs onto it, switches hands beautifully. Now goes down to the X. Seymour off on his left, near his side. He's going to get to the front, take a shot. Blocked by Thompson. He had the angle covered. Good job by Weichel to get to the front, but Thompson right there on the post.
Yep. Good burst of speed. Tried to go. Slip it under the garage door that time, but a nice save by Thompson.
Seymour near his side, further out. Gorowski. And Andover still plenty of time down by 2, but they need to hit pay dirt on this one. Gorowski further down. Seymour. Gorowski off to the left. Did he get his shot away? It's on the ground. Tornadoes trying to control. Finally comes into the stick of Henriksen in front of the net. Henriksen clear into the middle. Grabbed beautifully there by Welling.
Wow.
That was quite a catch. Pass to the near side, out of the stick of Hirsch. And now a chance for Andover. Gergen, Evan Gergen is going to give it up. This is Seymour again. Andover right back to the attack. Into the middle. And somehow Knutson couldn't make it pay. I don't know if Thompson got a piece. He might have.
I think he did. He got both hands up that time and really made that difficult to get by. Nice play. Good pass and catch by Andover. I thought for sure that was going to find the back of the net.
Yeah, just broke in on the net. Knutson looking for number 2 on the night. Under 7 to go. Anoka now to the attack. That's Hirsch. And now Peterson. Tanner Peterson, one of the captains. Couple of goals here tonight. Peterson trying to get over to the right. Now back into the middle. Almost loses it. Further out, Hirsch gets it. Nice dodge there around Gergen. They tried to get it down low to Peterson. Or actually a shot attempt from way outside. Are they going to give it over to Andover? No, it is Anoka.
Yep, he tried to shuffle that one under.
A shot.
Watkins on that shuffle shot.
Move to the front. Barry gives it up. Peterson has an alley. And a goal! Well, they left an opening, and Peterson is third.
Unbelievable. That was a hot roller. That must have bounced several times. Look at the accuracy. Small window. Small window.
Yeah, you could just see that alley to shoot, and he took advantage of it. Tanner Peterson, number 3, and now it's 10-7 Tornadoes.
Reminded me a little bit of rollerball, the way that he really stepped into that thing and brought some spin and rotation on that low ball. And this is going to be tough. Win probability for Anoka probably goes to about 80%. That's, of course, the Joe numbers.
Dominic Grubbs fighting for it, far sideline, pushing and shoving. Tristan Klein, they were the combatants in that face-off circle, and now we got a timeout. 6:02 to play, 10-7 Anoka, and that 3-goal burst by Weichel in the third, 5 goals overall. And now this Peterson goal here in the fourth, and they're back up by 3.
Tornadoes had come into this game averaging 6 goals a game with their 58 goals, but they've surpassed that tonight in double digits with 10. Get to see some swag and some dance going on here. There's part of the guys from the Anoka Tornadoes baseball team. Saw some other lacrosse teammates, some busting some moves as well. Some other younger lacrosse players. I want to see Steve Thompson bust some moves out there.
No, I'm done with that. those days are long over, but a good crowd here tonight.
Oh,
why not? Here at Goodrich Field. Yeah.
And the weather to match.
Yeah.
You got to be outside on a night like this.
Just a great
I'm
night.
sure either you have it on, you're watching us on YouTube outside, either on your phone, or you've taken all the TVs out to watch this thing, or even if you're watching it tonight at midnight on a replay, you got to be watching it outside just to match the weather. Rain has stayed away, maybe some tomorrow, but tonight Anoka has opened up their third 3-goal lead at 10-7 here in the fourth against the Huskies with 6 and change remaining.
2-2 after one, 5 for Andover at the half, 9-7 Anoka after three. Tornadoes now up, as Joe mentioned, 10-7 as we start the fourth, and Anoka right back to the attack. And one more would be really tough for Andover. They need it back. Here's Hirsch. Hirsch, big night, 5 goals, good dodge. Now it's Peterson again. That shot whistles wide.
And already the Joe win probability rate is at 80% right now for Anoka. Tough to overcome.
Yeah, crazy to think how quick this season is going. Iverson swings it out. That misses the mark. Trying to get Masman.
Nice scoop amongst traffic.
Yeah, he stuck with it and grabbed it on a hop. And now they get it further out. Charlie Hendrickson getting a lot of time in this game. Peterson made 3 goals. Quite a game. Beautiful shots, all 3. This is Hirsch, number 6.
Having trouble stopping that Hirsch factor tonight as Andover. Goal number 6, as you mentioned, Steve, and for Devin Hirsch, 26 goals now on the season.
Yeah, big performance in this rivalry, and that's going to make it really tough for Andover now. They've got to go perfect in the face-off category here. Dominic Grubbs going to grab it again. Done a nice job. Grubbs begins his run.
Season high for goals this season for Anoka is 14, and a 14-6 win they had over Hermantown Proctor.
This is Ian McDonald. Senior midi, 1-1, 1 goal, 1 assist this year. And now Peterson. Peterson in that X position, looking for a cutter. Gets it over on the side, that's a goal. That's a catch and shoot goal, and that's gonna go to Barry. Darian Barry is 4th of the year. That was a terrific assist by Peterson.
That was an alley-oop. Hung that thing up and a one-timer. Boom. Wow. Right there. We've seen a couple of those types of goals tonight for the Tornadoes, and that is goal number 12. And as you mentioned, to go, Steve, comes the way of Darian Barry.
Yeah, they have certainly cranked it up here in quarters 3 and 4. Another face-off win. And the sprint down the field. Masman toward the net. Blocked there. Caden Weichel, a nice save. He's going to clear it into the middle, put it on the ground. Picked off. McDonald, a goal! Off the turnover. Ian McDonald, number 2 on the year. And Anoka now leads it by 6.
Wow. They've certainly hit the zone. Chance there as McDonald finds the right avenue, and most of the evening those goals have come down low near the turf. To be Weichel, goal number 13. And we are certainly at this 6-goal lead now for Anoka. That's such fabulous
right
comeback.
Back the other way comes Andover, and Seymour is second.
Just like I said, coming right back the other way in a matter of seconds. So much for my over-under of 20. Now we're at 21. So Rocco Seymour picked up his 2nd goal. He had the 2nd goal of the game, and now the 8th goal of the game for Andover. And he has 12 on the season.
Anoka scored 3 in 54 seconds. Seymour adds a goal 6 seconds later. And it's 13-8. So it has been a wild second half. Just 5 for Andover. at the half, and Andover off that face-off, right back at it. But not only are they down by 5, but there's 3.5 to go in the game. It's a good run into the middle by Knutson. Knutson gives it to Seymour on the right. He goes across, and it's knocked down by Nate Thompson, the goalie for the Tornadoes, and he's going to run it out of there. He's got pretty good speed. He's going to give it up. Nice catch by Baki. Kind of reached back and grabbed it, and now he'll fling it ahead, but it goes on the ground. I got some pushing and shoving, and Andover's going to get it. Andover's going to get it back as we approach 3 to go. 3 to go in this game. Anoka on their way to a 6-4 record. There's one popped into the air. That may have ricocheted off some metal. And now we got a flag fly in with 2:51. Player is headed to take a knee, and I think that's going to be Max Knutson. I think he's going to grab the knee there. Yep. There he is. He did something he's not supposed to.
Right. That's the same position I had when I was a kid growing up. You had to take the knee and wait out in the backyard till you could come back in. So.
Andover back at it, down by 5, and we have a timeout. Yeah, apparently no timeout here.
Counting up the numbers.
Yeah. Not sure what the delay is. We know Anoka's a man, or are they 2 down over there? I can't tell if there's another player that Peterson's over there on a knee, but I don't think, or are they 2 down? Yeah, I think Anoka might be 2 down here. That's what it looks like to me. Because Peterson, if you look over at the penalty area, Peterson's kind of right there on the edge of it, Tanner Peterson, and then Max Knutson. So you kind of see him tying his shoe, but based on the players I count on the field, they are 2 down. Yep. So that's where we stand. So a big opportunity, but unfortunately Andover not a lot of time. There's a shot that whistles wide. That was Caleb Weichel, who has 1 goal tonight.
Yep, yeah. There they both are.
So I guess technically.
Yeah, they're not right next to one another, but they are both out. Nice save deflection there for
Thompson. Yeah, good job. Anoka by 5. They have it. Now Andover's really got to gamble. Thompson, Nate Thompson out of his net. Being chased there by Cole Jensen. Clear into the middle on the ground. And now it's Andover right back at it. Garrett Ron. Ron, a shot that goes wide. And that one will go out. Andover's going to hang on with 1:57 to go.
Like that.
So now they get to the side of the net. Cole Jensen had a chance. That missed the mark. And now Anoka's going to clear it out there to midfield. Trying to run it down, and catching is Hirsch. What a grab on the ground ball. Hirsch wants more. Hirsch has 6 tonight. That was a terrific catch on the ground ball at midfield. That was a wonderful play. This is Barry. Barry has a goal. And now over to the near side, Mosman.
Approaching a minute, and Anoka making a push here.
Peterson.
Spin and turn. Peterson.
Double team comes. Looks like it was a shot attempt. Ground ball kind of shoveled back behind the net.
He got there first to scoop it back to a teammate to hold it from going out, and now Andover may get possession here. Now it's going to roll right back to Anoka and Hirsch.
Hirsch has 6. I think he'd love to get 7. Over to the right. Look out! That one skips wide. 30 to go. Anoka by 5. As we mentioned, Totino next Monday here. Then Maple Grove on the 22nd. Then on the 24th at OPC, and that'll be over at Osseo. For Andover, next Tuesday, home to Spring Lake Park at Robbinsdale Armstrong, and then they close with Big Lake Princeton on the 24th. Under 20 to go in the game. Anoka's got it playing catch out on the perimeter. Hirsch looking for it out on top. I think right now, head coach Brad Sundum, the Tornadoes are going to congratulate their goalie Nate Thompson. Anoka beats Andover in boys lacrosse 13-8 on a lovely night here at Goodrich Field. Tornadoes now 6-4. Andover falls to 2-8. Player of the game, Joe, let's go out on a limb here.
Yes, I think quite the limb will go out on, and Devin Hirsch with 6 tallies, now 26 on the season. Far and away player of the game.
Yeah, terrific shots. He can really unload. Anoka wins. Thanks so much to our great QCTV crew, led by Taylor Johnson, of course, Joe Rulin. I'm Steve Thompson. Have a great night.